All right, guys, it's day 3 of our coach sneak peek, and Brittany is here. Brittany's been a coach on our team for 2 months, and she's hit the ground running. She wanted to build a team from the beginning, and she wanted to help those around her see the success that she was with her own routine. So maybe just go through how you said yes, or why you said yes to coaching, and what that first 2 months has kind of looked like for you.
Sure. I originally started out as just a challenger. I didn't go right into coaching. Just kind of wanted to get my feet wet with the exercises and nutrition and accountability group and all of that. But I just fell in love with everything about this, including the workouts and mostly the community and just everyone having the support. So I decided to do coaching because I am someone who easily gives up on things. And I knew that if I had a team around me, they're always going to be looking at me to be kind of like a role model and also hold them accountable. So having a team behind me also helps with my own accountability. So that was a big thing for me, was just accountability and not giving up on myself. So that was definitely the number one reason why I decided to coach. Besides obviously wanting to give back. I'm someone who always wants to help people. I'm a nurse, so it's kind of in my nature, my character. So this was just kind of right up my alley.
Yeah. And so what was one of the things you were nervous about when you started coaching?
I think just social media in general is kind of nerve-wracking. Making my account public is a little nerve-wracking, especially when you're sharing some personal things that before maybe you would only be sharing with family or friends, but now you're just being a little bit more vulnerable with strangers. So I think that was something that I really struggled with at the beginning.
Yeah, and for all new coaches, and we're going to talk about sharing your story today, because this was something obviously Brittany was, nervous about when she first started. So when we had our getting started right call, what did we talk about with sharing, and how do you kind of approach that now with sharing your story to help the people that you want to reach? And
Sorry, my
obviously she has a toddler.
So with sharing, it's just being genuine to yourself and connecting with people that you relate to. It's not forced conversations. You truly want to connect with people that you would want to be friends with, that you would want to be on your team. So I think that's really what we had talked about the most, was just forming genuine relationships and genuine connections. And I've reconnected with a lot of people through this, like my college roommate who I hadn't talked to in like 10 years, a girl that I used to work with, and we've all had kind of similar struggles. My one challenger, she's going through like postpartum depression. I have another challenger who's going through fertility treatments, which I have done also. So it's just having people around you who have kind of similar struggles, similar interests, and just forming genuine bonds with them.
Yeah, so I think that's like the main thing that we really work on with our new coaches, is that storytelling component. And we sit down and kind of force you to think about what are the 5 things that have nothing to do with health and wellness, because while yes, I mean, that's why we all are coaching. Like Brittany mentioned, like infertility and postpartum, like that's very specific to her that I can't speak to, but she can help people that can, as she shares that story. So having that ability to connect with people on a level that relates to them allows them to trust you and open up connections and relationships so that they can ask for help. Because asking for help to lose weight or become healthy is kind of not always easy to admit. But when you're willing to be open and honest about your struggles and how you're overcoming them and your successes, then it's easier for people to know, love, and trust you and want to be a part of what you're doing. So maybe share, like, what are some things that you are focusing on sharing with your journey besides the few that we mentioned so far?
Oh boy. Well, toddler life is a struggle every day. So that's definitely one that I share a lot. Some quarantine stuff is difficult too. We've had some COVID exposure. So I've talked about that recently and how that's kind of impacted things and just stirred up a lot of different emotions for me. So that's been something I'm trying to share a lot more of, is just struggle, because I think on social media we're always seeing all these positive posts and this portray of like just this perfect life, and it's not realistic, and we can't I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but you can't relate to those people because no one's life is perfect. So just opening up and being vulnerable, even though it's really difficult to do, is something that, I'm still struggling with, but definitely am trying to do more of.
But I think it's important that you're learning and growing through it. And that's the cool thing about coaching, is that I mean, I still don't know it all and I'm 6 years in. So you're not expected to know it all. So what platform are you using to share your story, and how often are you doing it? Maybe just share a little bit about that.
So I'm mostly on Instagram. I do have Facebook and my accounts are linked. So whatever I put on Instagram goes to Facebook, but I do try to focus just on Instagram mostly. I just think you can reach more people with that platform. Just trying to post like on my feed every day with whatever is going on. It doesn't have to be fitness related. It doesn't even have to be like a struggle, just whatever is going on that day. And then stories throughout the day whenever I have time between toddler life. So sharing whatever would be going on that day, temper tantrums, my workouts, whatever it would be. So I do try to do that throughout the day as well.
Perfect. It all comes down to consistency. Like everything that you do, you have to think about it. If you want people to invest in you as their coach, are you going to be the person that's going to be there for them? I mean, not on demand 24/7, because we have a community and resources and tools for them to plug into, but are they going to know that you're walking the walk with them? And that's the main thing of sharing on social media, is showing people what it's like to be in our accountability groups, what it's like to work hard for goals in our team, walking them through that process and being just open and honest about not being bashful about showing the hard work. Because if you want to build a team and you want to have an income and you want to travel and sort of that sort of stuff, you can't be, dipping your toe in. You have to be willing to open your heart and make it about serving others. So yes, you're sharing your story, but it's to help other people realize they're just like you struggle just like them, and if you can do it, they can do it.
Mhm.
Any
Absolutely.
other things that you've found helpful as a new coach with sharing and what's worked for you?
I think one of the struggles is just kind of inviting people to join me on this journey. Um, and there are people that are going to say no, and that's okay. They might say yes later. I've had a ton of people, even one today, saying how much I've motivated them with my stories and working out. It just motivated them to work out. And although they haven't joined me, I'm hopeful that in the future they will, just because they have seen that consistency. So that's something that I just found was really awesome. I'm motivating people, even if it's not with me, they're still bettering their health, and that just makes me happy. So.
Yeah, it's that purpose that you just never know who you can reach. And that's why it goes back to like not closing yourself off, but using social media as a tool that's free. It's not like you're paying for marketing on a TV ad, and you can do it your way. It's very customizable to you, your story, and what you feel comfortable sharing. And as you continue to grow, you continue to want to open up more. There's not much that I won't talk about at this point, because I know there's always somebody else out there that needs to know they're not alone. So we're going to give a challenge to y'all, keep this short and sweet. So I want y'all to go to your posts, and Brittany does this, I'm sure she'll say, go to your last few posts and reach out to a friend or two and just say, hey, thanks so much for the love on my post. Like, how are you? So simple like that. Because so often we just click like or click love or click the emoji, but like this business is relationship building, but also in just in life as humans. I think especially during coronavirus, we've realized how much of that personal connection we really need. And that's something that we focused on our team all the time. So I never go on social media with the mindset of like, oh, I'm going to get this person. It's like Brittany said, I'm going to give, I'm going to give, I'm going to give, I'm going to give. And then, yeah, I'm going to invite people to join me, but it's up to them to make that decision. So this is kind of something we do as a regular basis as coaches. And it's just being a friend and saying, how are you? Because a lot of people don't ask that, right?
Right, exactly.
So we want to see who you reached out to and who you connected with. It might be your college roommate, like Brittany said, or your old coworker. And I really truly believe that this just can connect you with so many people that you maybe were friends with before, but also new people that you just don't even know. And the sky's the limit. So hopefully this spoke to y'all today. Britt, thanks for hopping on with toddler lunch in full effect. Proof you can do it with a toddler.
Sure.
And we look forward to sharing more with y'all this week. All right, thanks, Britt.
Thank you.